Hello, this is Homefront Headlines. I'm Amanda Weinstein, and I'm here with my husband,
Casey Weinstein. Happy end of the week to everybody. We made it.
Ooh.
We made it. We've almost made it.
Almost.
Made it. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the headlines. Let's talk about some economics. How about we talk about prices? Super exciting to talk about prices.
I love a good Friday afternoon economic price discussion. I do.
Let's talk about, I think, grocery prices, which the new administration is planning to fix with tariffs.
Tariffs. Can you remind me? I'm not an economist.
You're not.
Who ends up paying for the costs that tariffs add to products?
Yeah, tariffs really are really more complicated, I think, than we make them. It's essentially a tax. It's just a tax on an imported good. If you love paying taxes, you'll love tariffs. They're pretty similar. And the more market power you have, the more power you have to push that tax on to someone else, like the buyers.
So Trump was asked about this, and
I'm
said,
sure he knew the economics behind it.
The whole campaign, he said tariffs are the answer to everything. They're going to stop inflation. They're going to stop everything. But then now he's saying, no, they might increase prices. So let's take eggs, for example.
No, it's not that they might. They will. They will increase prices.
Okay.
He might as well have said, read my lips. I'm here to tax you.
So but he
actually is.
Got them to vote for him based on increasing their taxes on.
Correct.
Basically. Okay.
Yeah. Because he has not been in a grocery store. I love recently. Trump had a little anecdote of a woman in a grocery store buying 3 apples who puts them on, and she saw the price and had to put one back in the store's refrigerator, because that's where apples are in the grocery store, in the refrigerator.
Oh, boy.
That's where Trump gets his apples, from the refrigerator.
Oh, boy.
Oil and gas. There is no country in the world that has more. We're number one. I brought it to number one during my first term in terms of production. We're going to be number one plus. We'll do numbers that nobody will really see before. And when that happens, prices are going to start coming down because people can't afford their groceries, and they're going to be affording their groceries very soon. I tell the story about an old woman, no money, went to a grocery store, had 3 apples. She put them down on the counter, and she looked, and she saw the price, and she said, "Would you excuse me?" And she walked one of the apples back to the refrigerator and came back to pay for the 2 apples. And she left with 2 apples. And the woman at the counter said that was so sad. And when I heard about the story, I said, that should never happen.
The detachment there.
Tell me you've never been in a grocery store without telling me you've never been in a grocery store.
So eggs became a flashpoint, like the price of eggs, right?
Eggs.
Because
I
that is
love
the staple.
Eggs in the morning.
A ton of our eggs come from Canada in America.
Oh, yeah.
So if we slap a tariff, like Trump has already said, I'm going to put
it's taxing our eggs.
Okay. So eggs, what will happen to the price of eggs?
Oh, higher prices. But not just the eggs you buy at the grocery store, all eggs. So when you go to McDonald's and you buy that Egg McMuffin, higher prices. When you go to Perkins and order an Eggs Benedict, which I love me some Eggs Benedict, higher prices on my Eggs Benedict.
And we do love Perkins. A little shout out for Perkins. It's a little hidden gem here. But
all the people there, the older people love our kids.
Yeah.
Like everything they do is cute to them. I don't even think everything they do is cute. A lot of it is, but
look out, there could be one behind us. They're like velociraptors, the kids, that when there's 3, one's coming at you. And if that's the case, then 2 are already flanking you and they're at your side. So they could be here.
It's true.
So
they don't notice prices. They're like Trump, like that. Like they don't notice prices. They're like, I don't know, $5, $500. It's basically the same to them. Probably same to Trump too.
I like the one thing that surprises me about this is he admitted it. He was like, not only are they're probably going to add to the cost of things, but then he followed on by saying, it's going to be really hard to bring prices down. Because it was a global phenomenon.
Oh, yeah.
Inflation was. You've talked about this a lot.
Yeah. We have global markets, which are influenced by global things like global supply chains. Everything is a global supply chain.
It's all connected.
It's all connected. Even if you buy something that's U.S. made, even if you have a U.S. made car, there's a bunch of parts in there that are not U.S. made, which means you're affected by the part in Canada, which we had that happen with a car part broke. And they're like, and it's a U.S. made car. We had to wait for the part from Canada.
Right. So he's essentially saying not only will prices go up from tariffs, it's really going to be hard to get them down. And what the truth is that the U.S. performed better than the rest of the world in terms of inflation. But coming out of COVID with the risk to the supply chains, how everything's connected, prices went up.
And that sucks. Let's face it. We don't like higher prices. We like lower prices. This is like we like a sale, right? We like to know we got a deal. And that sucks. It sucks to pay higher prices. But higher prices really matter when a large portion of your budget goes to housing. And I have not heard his plan on housing. Higher prices.
Did have a plan for housing? Do you know who did?
Who did?
Kamala had a really good plan for housing. Sorry to interrupt you, but Kamala had
more housing.
He has no plan.
Build, baby, build.
He went back to concepts of a plan for healthcare this week. Did you see that on Meet the Press?
Oh, no, I did
He went back to concepts of a plan. They don't have a plan. And by the way, a poll came out today saying that Americans were overwhelmingly supportive of keeping Obamacare, which people also didn't know that the Affordable Care Act was Obamacare anymore. No, there were such disconnects. I mean, we talked about the tariff and the pricing one.
Huge disconnects.
Massive. And this brings to my mind another one, the drill, baby, drill energy production thing where we've been drilling, baby, drilling.
We've been drilling. We are now the largest producer of oil and gas in the world. Like we did it. We're the largest producer
in the world.
It's us.
It's us. People think it's Saudi Arabia.
It was, but not anymore.
Right. Because fracking and because of the immense amount of land we have.
Yeah.
So we've been drilling.
We've been drilling, baby, drilling. But the problem is it's not going to bring down prices because we're going to sell it to other countries.
Oh man, people don't know that. I didn't know that. Because he put that forward as the other answer to prices. He's like, tariffs and we're going to drill everywhere.
But we've had that strategy for decades and decades, and we are where we are because we have global markets. If we really want to bring the prices down, we have to give people ways to avoid paying the prices. How do we not pay for gas? How do we not pay for things?
Oh, the Inflation Reduction Act had a great off-ramp for us into electric vehicles.
Yep.
Yeah. But Trump's going to repeal that. So,
well, here's what else. The electric vehicles don't just help the people who own them not to buy gas, but it can help bring the prices down.
Because it brings aggregate demand down.
Yeah.
So some people may say, fine, let's cut ourselves off from global markets then. Let's just produce the oil and do it here. But that would reduce supply, right?
Bad. I mean, we tried to do that with Smoot-Hawley stuff. We've tried. It didn't go well. We had Great Depressions and stuff. It's
okay. I didn't know that.
Oh,
so this was a 1920s thing?
Yeah, with the Smoot-Hawley when we did lots of tariffs and we're like, let's just do us for a while. And it made the Great Depression.
And a world war.
Maybe that's what he means by make America great again. He's thinking Great Depression.
Oh.
Ooh. And great. Yeah. I didn't realize that.
Wow.
It's definitely Great Depression territory. He will make America great depressed again.
Oh, no. Oh, God.
Not good.
Yeah. The disconnect between what he said was the remedy and what the reality is so stark. But I think to some extent our country, where my mindset is okay, let's see how this works. For people, let's do tariffs. And I kind of think people need to to break this fever. People need to see a trade war. And, I don't wish economic ill will on anybody. I don't want anybody to harm, but prices will go up. That's the reality that you're telling me.
That's the reality.
Yeah.
And the other thing with the trade war, Trump did this before too, and he did have a mini trade war and it really hurt farmers. So then what he had to do is he had to write a check to farmers. He basically gave welfare to farmers to help them handle the trade war that he started. So he's basically saying that times 10 or something. I don't know.
So on this subject, the migrant worker or undocumented worker purge that they want to do, I have now heard from a lot of farmers and small business owners who are telling me that is going to, they literally will not be able to find employees, like chicken factories and poultry and meat factories, low paying, incredibly difficult, strenuous jobs, working for wages and hours and that people don't want to work. And they're like, that's half the workforce.
Oh yeah.
So
we just don't have enough people.
We will not be able to, we'll run out of food without
we have 3
that
kids.
workforce.
We're trying, but we can't produce enough children to handle that labor supply issue.
Right. So what will happen
somewhere else?
So economically, if you lose your workforce,
higher prices, you're going to have to pay people more. You're going to have to pay people more.
or they won't. If you can get them to do those jobs at all, you'd be paying them more.
Yeah.
Or
you're gonna have to pay people more.
Or you would have to automate stuff, which would kill the job permanently.
I mean, that's the easier one. Robots don't need healthcare. Wow. And machinery doesn't need healthcare. So
but it's not going to create jobs for people, and it will. No. And some things can't be automated, presumably. Like there's some things they can't yet automate.
Yeah.
So we've got this like triple effect of like, we're already doing the energy. We're adding tariffs onto stuff. We're starting trade wars. We're going to get rid of our cheap workforce. I mean, this is going to suck.
It's going to suck.
You know, I'm thinking as a state senator elect, as a state rep, the people that are struggling that I represent. That's where
they're going to see it. They're going to see it at the gas pump. They're going to see it in grocery stores. They're going to see it in various ways. And when we don't solve bigger issues like housing, that means little things like at the grocery stores are going to make they're going to be a bigger deal for people. And I think part of like when you're talking about people need to see it is we haven't really experienced a huge trade war in a long time. We have seen the benefits of having lower prices and lower price goods without seeing how much our economy can be affected by tariffs. Similarly, we have not dealt with our children getting polio and what it's like not to have vaccines available for measles, the MMR, and for polio. We haven't seen what it's like for a kid in our class, in our kids' class, to just die or, lose beyond the iron lung, or not to have the use of their legs anymore. We haven't seen any of that. So we don't really see the value in things like not having a tariff or in like having access to vaccines.
We take it for granted. Right. And I really hope we don't need to see how like an outbreak of something I hope it does not come to that. God.
I mean, we're already seeing some outbreaks of measles.
The thought of children suffering because of these like uneducated policy decisions that, conspiracy theory.
Yeah. They didn't get a vote. They didn't get to vote.
No.
That's not fair to them.
That's a terrible thing. And it really is chilling to think about. And on that note, it came out today in the New York Times that RFK Jr.'s lawyer and the guy that is staffing the FDA sued them to undo the approval of the polio vaccine. Like, this is some deeply scary stuff. He claimed it was just like the COVID vaccine. No, this dude is anti-vax to the core.
Oh, yeah. Even like with the polio, he should watch the show called The Midwives, which you watch, but you didn't see the polio episode. There are episodes about polio where you actually see kids getting polio to having the vaccine. And you see this transition in healthcare and how different it looks in their lives.
This show is about like midwives in like Britain, right? Over the years, over the decades. And you get to see what healthcare was like in that time and how, and through the lens of giving birth and what that meant and the impact on children and moms. It is fascinating to look back. Because like you said, we don't have that look back. We take it all for granted. These diseases are largely eradicated in the United States. But this is like, I can't even wrap my brain around the fact that we could open the door for a crippling, horrific disease like polio to come back and affect our kids. But it's happening. This is the guy staffing the FDA. He's on the inside now.
The call's coming from the inside.
Yeah.
It's coming from in the house.
The call's coming from inside.
It's not good.
Oh, no. That was a great pop culture reference.
Well, thank you.
Every once in a while, you really impress me. You're not a big movie, like,
no, I like
person. Data. She likes data.
Yeah.
Such a nerd.
Nonfiction.
Beautiful nerd. And I love you. But every once in a while, very solid pop culture reference. Yeah.
That's a good compliment.
Yeah. So I guess we're gonna see here. Like I'm enjoying every day that we have left of Biden and Kamala. We got Kamala's Christmas card the other day, and it was so cute. It had a little menorah in the window of the house, and then it had Santa flying over the house, and it just had all these nice little touches. And I just like looked at it and I was like, man, this was a beautiful, like the whole thing. And what could have been.
That's a depressing note.
Sorry. But I do want to circle back. We now, we talked about this last week, but the margin in the House finally settled at two votes.
Not big. That's good.
And I just
gridlock is good. Also, what can we do with the states? So we can hope for gridlock at the federal level.
Dems did pretty well. Dems did pretty well in states.
That's good.
Dems kept our majorities in state houses. We won a lot of key races. We expanded our numbers in Ohio. We're still deep in the hole, but like we expanded our numbers. But like there is real great work that has been done in the Democratic Party. We learned our lesson from 2010, and now we have invested at the state and local level. That will pay dividends. And if if the political winds, they shift very quickly. I relearn this lesson all the time. If they shift again, we'll have an opportunity in 26 to bring another new generation of Democrats into the political mix. So
love it.
More hopeful.
It's our bench.
Yeah.
When they go low, we go local.
Katie
Paris, red, white, and blue. Love it.
I do continue to love that. That is great. So a little bit of hope. Gridlock at the national level, some gains at the state and local level.
Okay.
Okay, we'll take that.
Love it.
All right.
That's good. Happy note.
Well, we hope you have a wonderful weekend, and thank you for spending a little bit of time with us. As always, this has been Homefront Headlines. I'm Casey Weinstein. This is my wife,
Amanda Weinstein.
Have a great weekend.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.